Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Commandant of the Marine Corps, the Commander of Marine Forces Command, Lieutenant General Brian W. Kavanaugh, welcomes you to today's change of command ceremony where Major General Tracy W. King will relinquish his command of U.S. Marine Corps Forces Europe and Africa to Major General Robert B. Softy, Jr. Today's ceremony is being executed by the Marines of U.S. Marine Corps Forces Europe and Africa. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Colonel Patricia Dienhart Stabil. The parade adjutant is Second Lieutenant Caleb Hare. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation delivered by Lieutenant Colonel Wynn Hutchings, Chaplain Corps, United States Army.
Please join me in prayer according to your own faith understanding. God, our Creator, you are the source of all authority. Thank you for your presence with us in this change of command ceremony. Today we celebrate the leadership of the outgoing commander, Major General Tracy King. Give him your guidance as he moves into new leadership responsibilities with new opportunities to serve well. Give grace to his wife Anne and him as together they navigate the unique challenges of moving. As we welcome the new commander, Major General Softy, and his wife Adrian, we ask you to bless them as they settle into the area and join the extended Marine family here in Stuttgart. Give Major General Softy favor with those under his command and the wisdom to lead them well. May he form a cohesive leadership team with Sergeant Major Elliott, inspiring continued excellence throughout the command. I pray these things in the name above all names. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Present-day parades in the Marine Corps have their basis in both history and tradition. The mass formation of troops on one long line at close interval made possible the massing of firepower from muzzle-loaded muskets of the past. In those early days, the line of battle was just that, a line of 2 or 3 ranks, and looked much like the parade formation you will see today. The adjutant forms the line for battle. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the march on of the colors and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. You are reminded that if not in uniform, please place your right hand over your heart. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for honors to the official party. Now taking his place in the reviewing area is General Michael E. Langley, Commander, U.S. Africa Command. Ladies and gentlemen, now taking his position in the reviewing area is Lieutenant General Stephen L. Deputy Commander, U.S. European Command. Ladies and gentlemen, now taking his position in the reviewing area is Major General Tracy W. King, Commander, U.S. Marine Corps Forces Europe and Africa. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, now taking his position in the reviewing area is Major General Robert B. Softy, Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the ceremony's most solemn moment, the actual passing of command. The battle colors of a Marine Corps unit symbolize the authority and accountability of command. Transferring the colors during the ceremony symbolizes a replenishing of command by Major General King, and by accepting the colors, Major General Softy accepts command and affirms his total commitment to the Marines and sailors that he will command. Sergeant Major Elliott is delivering the colors to the commander. From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Major General Tracy W. King, effective 10/30 June 2023, you stand relieved from your duties as Commander, U.S. Marine Corps Forces Europe. Signed, David H. Berger, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Major General Robert B. Softy, Jr., effective 10/30 June 2023, you are directed to assume your duties as Commander, U.S. Marine Corps Forces Europe. Signed, David H. Berger, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Major General Tracy W. King, effective 10/30 June 2023, you stand relieved from your duties as Commander, U.S. Marine Corps Forces Africa. Signed, David H. Berger, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. From Commandant of the Marine Corps to Major General Robert B. Softy, Jr., effective 10/30 June 2023, you are directed to assume your duties as Commander, U.S. Marine Corps Forces Africa. Signed, David H. Berger, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for honors to Major General Robert B. Softy, Jr., Commander, U.S. Marine Corps Forces Europe and Africa. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, U.S. Africa Command, General Michael E. Langley.
Ready? Yep. Well, good morning, everyone. You know, Tracy King told me this morning, and mindful of where he's from, North Texas, Oklahoma. But when I thought this was going to be at the firehouse, he said, no, General, the weather's going to hold. Now, the interpretation for a Marine and a person from that part of the country means that there's no Cat 4 tornado warning. So the weather is holding, okay? Trust me on that. With sunshine. Let me just go ahead and state I'm deeply honored here today to be able to participate in the customs and the courtesies and the the time-based conditions of what the Marine Corps honors, the passage of command, the passage of stewardship of command. We take that seriously. So when I was beckoned to come here and officiate the MARCOR Act piece of it, I said absolutely. So this transfer of command between Major General Tracy King and Major General Robert G. Mansofsky is very significant. It's wonderful to see our Yukon neighbors here today. General Steve Bashan is an integral part of this. And thanks to General Kaboli for being such superb teammates, especially in supporting AFRICOM's mission. And also it's great to know that our German hosts are here. Dr. Wolfer Mayer, thank you for the support of the community. As you have been great hosts and always extend great hospitality. Ambassador, thank you for being here as well. As you support UCOM, but what you do also affects AFRICOM as well. Whole of government approach is very essential. We recognize that at AFRICOM, as I know that UCOM does as well. So thank you for your service. I'm also delighted. I'm never remiss, I should say, in knowing what really supports our operational readiness. So anytime I take the stage to honor or be present in ceremonies like this, we know what the foundational piece of that begets operational excellence, operational readiness, but behind the scenes are the spouses. So Ms. Ann, you have, the last 2 years, have been a pivotal part, the foundational piece of family readiness, which begets operational readiness, which begets operational excellence here at MARCOR URF, so thank you. Also, who's getting ready to embark? Adrian. Adrian, I haven't seen you since our times at the Pentagon. You know, I think when I skipped out on that check over at Sinead's at the wedding down, when you guys called me back, she said, okay, we had you covered. All right, thank you. You getting ready to embark on part of a glorious journey. This is a great command. So welcome to Europe. But my condolences. I'm going to put in the work. Myself and Steve Bashan is going to put in the work. Okay, so I need to also acknowledge some of my friends from over my teammates back into my service, the institution. As we have Brian Kavanaugh here, MARCOR Com, FMF Forces Atlantic. And you also have that MARCOR North hat on as well. So thank you for being here on behalf of Commandant. And from the operational perspective, David Ognon. As he's down at Camp Lejeune, and he always finds a way to help AFRICOM in the forces that he provides to ensure that we're able to achieve our mission, because it's a different type of fight in Africa. But then also, my old friend that used to, for across the years, from Newport, Rhode Island and beyond, Diana, been a pivotal point across the Marine Corps and family programs, what she does each and every day has contributed immeasurably to the Marine Corps being, like I said, operationally ready. So thank you, Diana, for being in attendance today. Now, change of command ceremonies are sacred, and they are symbolic, especially for the Marine Corps. They represent the continuity of operations. They represent the dedication to our mission. We reflect on the past, but we project into the future. The outgoing commander passing on the colors to the incoming commander. No one honors past traditions while preparing for future challenges and future conflict like the United States Marine Corps. So today, I'm deeply honored to be here representing the men and women of Africa Command. We actually feel, in speaking about EUCOM, because knowing down at the component level, all of our shared components are double-hatted. Matter of fact, they're triple-hatted because they have their Title X allegiance to the service chiefs as well. So they get no break. They don't have a time to excel. So while combat commands are focused upward and outward, strategic integration, the component commanders are doing the legwork down on the continent, across 2 continents. And when we talk about, just to give you perspective and appreciation for that triple hat that they're responsible for. Now, we heard our chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Milley, talk about the nature of war hasn't changed, but the character of war has. And I know that upon taking command of AFRICOM, as I looked at the component commanders and their charged responsibilities, nowhere else across the joint staff is this responsibility broader. The span of responsibility, the span of influence, here in the EUCOM theater, but moreover, across that 11.2 independent component commanders come together, and they enable me as a Joint Force commander. So as we look upward and outward across the GCCs and our messaging across conference, DOD, and the whole government approach, the legwork is done by the component commanders. So in addition to how we expect these component commanders to manage their responsibilities, I have to hone in the accomplishments of what Tracy has done. I know because I knew what the strategic environment was 2 years ago when I handed him the flag. And a lot of things started to go south as far as the challenges that he was facing. Globally, a lot of things went south. You know about it. We're still within the later stages of the pandemic, pressurizing our operational capability. On top of that, in a fiscally austere environment back in the Pentagon, and when the Marine Corps was embarking on transitioning, standing force with focus on the Pacific, I was given Tracy the command, especially for the Africa piece, would be stand last in line in the suit line. So what Tracy had to face, he was told, you have no money. You have no forces. Oh, wait. Yes, when we say no forces, you don't have a special purpose. MAGTF, crisis response. But we are going to leave you an ace. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to take 2 aircraft from you. You're going to have to split that. Oh, wait a minute. You're going to have to consolidate that down on the continent of Africa, and you're going to support 3 different theaters. On top of that, did I tell you that you're not going to get any operations and maintenance money? Tracy took that, and he told, watch me, hold my beer. Tracy, across EUCOM and AFRICOM, he did things, and again, I'm going to remind you, totally different fight in AFRICOM. And then on top of that, Ukraine happened. So he supported Ukraine, and then a number of crises happened across the African continent. Tracy didn't blink. He said, hold my beer and watch us. Marburg, you were executed. Well, Tracy, thank you for that. You never complained. You spoke truth with power. Each and every time you did a mission, it's kind of like Churchill said to Montgomery, we're out of money, now we got to think. I knew you were capable of that because we've been friends forever, and I've watched your career from afar, whether you were on the Joint Staff in the Asian Division, or whether you were out as a planner, or whether you were in N85, N95, and OPNAV, where we had no ships. You spoke truth to power, and you moved the ball on a lot of the Marine Corps initiatives. You were the right man for the job, and it was proven as such. So at this time, I really just want to thank you. Thank you and Ann for your service to God, Corps, and country. Fair winds and following seas as you go back to North Texas, Oklahoma. This has been a great ride. So not from my perspective of commander to component commander, but as a friend. You gave me a lot of sage advice, and I just want to say thank you. Robert G-Man Sachi. We have a history as well. When we reported, well, actually, we stole you from the Joint Staff from J8 back in 2010-11 for a particular purpose, because the Marine Corps was at a defining moment of who we were going to be in the next fight. And during sequestration of the budget, you had that strategic mindset. You had that strategic mindset of how we were going to be able to invest in these capabilities in the future. So that set the stage for what we're doing now, whether it's Loki or EABO or stand-in force. You set the groundwork for that, and you set how the resources should be phased across time, even outside what we call a fighter. Right there, at that point in time, the Marine Corps realized your talent. So not only at the institutional level, but your talent to lead. We had to steal you from General LaCambra because you were up on the 38th parallel, down on up on the 10. He tried to keep and hold on to you. But I said, no, Commandant, don't give up that fight. Let's get G-Man Sachi over here in Europe, or moreover, down on the African continent. Because as we talk about the character of war, is changing. You have 2 big deals, especially in the EUCOM piece, but down in Africa too, which is a totally different mission. That's about strategic access and influence. The stage has been set by Tracy, but you are the continuum. So for you and Adrian, fair winds, good luck, because you're not going to have any money. Thank you. Thank you both. Thanks, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General Stephen L. Basham.
General Langley, Lieutenant General Ottigon, Lieutenant General Kavanaugh, to Mayor Belts, Ambassador Burns, community leaders, general officers, senior executives, distinguished guests, families, and friends. On behalf of my boss, General Cavoli, let me add my thank you to all of you for attending today's change of command. I'd also like to convey a special thanks to the band over here. I have to say you always bring a unique and professionalism to ceremonies such as this, and it is greatly appreciated. Thank you. During their 2 years at Marine Forces Europe and Africa, the King superbly led Marines and their families assigned to operating in support of 2 combatant commands. The world has significantly changed during your tenure, and thankfully, you were here to lead the nation's Marines through it. Today, we salute those Marines and offer our humble thanks for your leadership, your resolve, your devotion, what you've given Marine Forces Europe and Africa, the Corps writ large, and U.S. European Command. To the Marines here today, assigned or operating the European theater, you honor a century-old tradition of Marine excellence. From fighting alongside the French and the British in the trenches of Belleau Wood during World War I, to clearing the path of Allied ships en route to Normandy beaches on D-Day during World War II, and more recently, for the training in Norway during exercise Cold Response. And by the way, I'm still trying to get a copy of the video of the polar bear plunge. If anyone could send it to me, I would appreciate that. To operations, Allies welcome in Kosovo, to supporting the 86th Airborne Division deployment to Poland, a special thanks for your dedication, which has undoubtedly strengthened and preserved transatlantic security. Next, we must thank Anne. Angie wishes she could be here today to share in saying thank you for your undying support of Tracy and the Marine Corps throughout 35 years of service. When considering all the assignments and deployments along the way and moments that comprise such highly distinguished career, rest assured you have positively impacted multiple generations of Marines, their families, and our European and Africa Command, our military communities. Truly, we appreciate your decades of unwavering and your legacy of love you have gifted to so many. I especially will miss your exceptional salsa. I'm just here to say, you need to patent that, start a business, and I'll be your first order. Thank you, Ann. Now we turn to Tracy. Tracy, when you assumed command of Marine Forces Europe and Africa, you were immediately thrust into a COVID pandemic. Your leadership kept your Marines and communities safe, enabling them to immediately transition into other pressing theater issues. You led the establishment of the Joint Forces Maritime Component Command and stood it up in support of USUCOM. Due to your direct oversight, your integrated planning, your extraordinary vision, the Joint Forces Maritime Component has set the Marine Corps-wide precedent for how naval integration can successfully happen. When Russia invaded Ukraine last year, you recognized the fundamental change to the security environment in Europe and leaned forward to fill critical operational gaps. And when an earthquake devastated parts of Turkey earlier this year, joined the Navy European Task Force to provide humanitarian assistance and disaster relief to a long-standing NATO ally. Considering it is European Command's smallest service component, what the Marine Forces in Europe and Africa have achieved in the past 2 years is remarkable. Without a doubt, Tracy, we attribute this to your lead-from-the-front style and your strategic prowess. Overall, you did it with behind-the-scenes heavy lifting greatly enhanced. Your behind-the-scenes heavy lifting greatly enhanced the combat readiness and quality of life of your Marines and their families. Thank you. As you and Ann close out a highly distinguished career of unwavering devotion to duty in the United States Marine Corps and start a new chapter in the Sooner State, the men and women of U.S. European Command salute you. Whatever comes next, may it bring you happiness, fulfillment, and plenty of enjoyment with family, loved ones, and friends. As we look to the future, United States Marine Forces in Europe and Africa, I'd like to welcome Major General Robert Sofji G-Man and your wife Adrienne. Welcome to the Stuttgart family, and I'll also say welcome to the Florida Strasse family. Lots of opportunity on Florida Strasse. As a highly decorated Marine, you arrive in Marine Forces Europe with a wealth of experience for the Pacific Theater, which will serve you well and us as we face global threats and challenges here in Europe. Once again, welcome to you and Adrienne, to your daughter, Lieutenant Samantha Sofji, Robert Jr. Hearty welcome also to your mother, Carlotta, and your mother-in-law, Patricia, as well as several family members that I think you have here today. To close, thank you again, Tracy and Ann, for your distinguished service to the nation, and to Robert, G-Man, and Adrienne. Angie and I look forward to serving alongside you, getting to know you better. Thank you.
So, did you guys see that Army unit, that troop walk by all rucked up? Did everybody see that? Nicely played in Dresiak. Nicely played. So, Lord Mayor, got the best title of anyone here. Welcome, sir, Ambassador. Good to see you. I know Mrs. Knopper couldn't make it. Thanks for all you guys for coming out. Please excuse me just for a second. Chief, you and the guys look magnificent. So thank you very much. Color guard, as always, you look good. Sergeant Sanchez, you did a good job. Petty Officer Watkins, I understand you kidnapped some Marines that were running around theater that actually know how to play and actually section there on the fly. Well done, Petty Officer. Well done. Thanks for coming out. Hey, Ziegler, where are you at? Not your weather machine sucks. So, the Sergeant Major and I talked to the guys yesterday, and we were like, hey, it's going to be raining, we're thinking about going inside. And they were like, no, sir, we're not going inside. So that's your Marine Corps for you. For General Langley and Bash, thank you very much for the kind words. I'll go, for those of you that I've served with, I'm not high on protocol, so we're going to go a little bit out of order here, so I apologize. So Bash, for you and the 800-pound gorilla that's sitting all next to you, that is UCOM, thank you for not smashing us. You and Elmo, with just a thought, and you or Duke Hines could just crush us, and you didn't do that, so thank you very much. Ann and I are going to miss living on Trassa very much, and we're going to miss being a part of the UCOM team. And to General Langley, you brought a phalanx of our friends here with us. Audegnon, Kavanaugh, Mark Klingon, Fred. It is amazing to me. When people ask me, why did you join? Why do you stay in? It's because of you guys. I mean, period. So to see all of these friends here, I know JC's here. Somewhere I didn't catch him, but I know JC's here. So thank you. you know, we Marines like to think that we're America's legions, and we are America's legions. But with the Joint Force coming in, we are invincible. So for my fellow commanders and my fellow Joint Force officers here, I have thoroughly enjoyed being on your team. That's all I've ever wanted to be, was on a team. And, you know, for the two Jamies out there, for the rest of the component commanders, thank you very much. Now, I have a guidance that I give, you know, my Marines all the time, that, you know, if you're going to get up and talk, and you talk for more than 5 minutes, you're going to have a problem with me. So when this is going to be, I'm going to make this short, I promise. But one of the guys yesterday, you know, asked me what I was most proud of for the last 2 years. And I thought, wow, what am I most proud of? So I am proud that, I think the Commandant sent me over here to be a component, or a combatant commander appetite suppression pill. It's not lost on me that I'm a guy, and that he sent me to Stuttgart. And that, you know, I took that on board because I am a Pacific guy. The Marine Corps has got 2/3 of our forces out there, and, you know, they gave the rest of the world to Ottagnon. He's handling that pretty well. But I'm proud that when we went from 0 to 100 during the crisis, and we did it well. Now, I'm proud of the fact that the Marines and the sailors that you see standing behind me on the sides, everything we've ever asked them to do, they have really knocked it out of the park. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud that Marfor URAF stayed focused on China. So Jamie Sands helped me with that, and I think that that's right and good, and I think that we need to do that. I'm proud that both of my kids decided to serve their people. Wow, I'm proud of that. But there's one other thing that I'm most proud of. I'm proud that I asked her to go to the prom with me. Good call. Sergeant Major, would you help me out here with are we doing the flowers now? Can we do that now? So my best friend's sitting here, and he owns several florists. So I thought about doing a donation to the Semper Fi Fund, but I knew he would stab me in the head, so can't ruin the flowers. Don't be judging my... It wasn't supposed to take this long. Go ahead, guys. So you might find this interesting. So Michelle Elliott is getting a flower. Casey Robbins is getting a flower. And Ann Hickey's getting a flower. So these ladies, they're at the center of our command. I call them the four horsemen. You guys have some other weird name for yourselves. The Duchess of the Red Carpet or something like that? Queen of... Oh, it's Gunny Bonilla? Okay, yeah, I forgot about the Queen. Go ahead and keep handing those out. I'm going to move on. You'll see here in just a second, too, that Mr. Kent Whitten and Cooper are actually getting a beer. Go ahead and hand it out to them. This has never happened before in Marine Corps history, Whitten. So you get to start. Cooper is 19, and it's legal, so drink up. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. G-Man, it's an honor to turn this over to you and Adrian. I've known you for years. Thank you very much. You take care of my guys. Take care. Love you, brother.
All right, I think I'm standing between us and the reception, is that right? I think, General Langley, Lieutenant General Basham, Ambassador Burns, Marine Forces Europe and Africa is going to stay the course, has been described here today. And we'll continue to do the great work that we've been doing. We want to be your component of choice when the going gets tough, right? You can count on us. We're here. For Generals Ottagnon and Kavanaugh, gentlemen, we'll work tirelessly here to ensure your success in Europe and Africa. We have a rich legacy that's been talked about and a bright future. So thank you, gentlemen. Lord Mayors, thank you from Boblingen and Stuttgart. Thank you for being here. We have a tremendous commitment to the community, and together we very much appreciate your support. Thank you very much. For the component commands, Army, Navy, Air Force, SOF, Cyber, Space, thanks for being here. I appreciate it, the fellow commanders and the representatives. We want to be good teammates. We will be good teammates, and we look forward to the power of the joint force that we can build together. So thank you very much for coming here today. I'd like to recognize my family. This is a bit of it's become a tradition. So we have family reunions centered around changes of command, which makes the logistics challenging. Particularly when you're the incoming dude because you don't have any base. But we rallied and did that once again. So like this whole tent is full of and so first I'll start with Adrian. It's critical not to forget that. Adrian, darling, thank you for your support for these many years for me and our family. Thank you, darling. And I think the support you give me represents the support so many spouses give to their team, and so thank you for that. Sam, Lieutenant Samantha Softy, and her fiance Chris, Robert and Amanda, thank you guys for being here. I love you, and I'm delighted that you're here. Mom and Pat, thank you so much for the support you've given our family over these many, many years, and for raising us right. Thank you so much. My brother Rick Softy, Major Rick Softy, United States Marine Corps retired, is here with his magnificent family. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you so much. My sister Caroline and her husband are here, Bill. Thank you very much for coming. You see Bill and Susan, Christian, Nicholas, Mike Softy, and I would not be here if it were not Mike Softy. In so many ways, thank you very much. And finally, Lance Corporal Dayton Dom, my nephew, serving as a Marine Security Guard in Turkey right now, made the trip over from there. Thank you for coming. And lastly, my friend and mentor, Colonel Eric Van Camp and his wife Susan, both retired Marines. Thank you, and means you also know that I would not be here were it not for your leadership and perhaps more patience. So thank you for that. And all the friends and family streaming, I don't know where that thing is. Is that it over there? Yeah, I don't know where that thing is, but wherever you are, there's a lot of folks streaming. Cousin Mark, aunts and uncles, Monica, our Korea family. Shout out to y'all who were all dialed in and were insistent upon it, and our Circle Hana from Hawaii. Guys, thanks for dialing in. We're excited. So, thanks. I'd like to talk about, when you walk into a command, a ready room, or a COC, or a ward room, or, wherever it is, you instantly know in about 30 seconds whether that place is great or jacked up, right? And it's very rarely in the middle, right? It's like, And one of the things that happened when Adrian and I arrived here, and we felt like a homecoming in the first minute of our arrival with this great command, was that this place rocked. The demeanor, the professionalism, the energy, the pep in the step of everybody that's here was really, really amazing. And this is a great, great team. We're so excited to be joining it. And Tracy, that's because of you, brother. That's you and Ann, right? And so I think, man, these big pieces, Phil, man, you have killed this thing. Congratulations on building such a wonderful team, and if we can be happy successful as you've been, then we will have done something that's very good. So congratulations, brother. That's awesome. Make everything better. And finally, for the Marines of the command, this Marine Africa team, we're going to stay the course. We're going to remain this nation's finest fighting force, as we've done for many, many years. And we will be successful. We will make sure that our Marines are successful on the modern battlefield to fight and win when we're called. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, flowers are being presented to both Mrs. Ann King and Mrs. Adrienne Southgee. Flowers are also being presented to Mrs. Angie Southgee, Mrs. Patricia Cosby, and Miss Samantha Southgee. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of Anchors Away in the Marines Hymn. Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. We will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. Proud to claim the title of United States Marine.